Okay guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through the Duke's classification of colon cancers. So this is just a trick, as you know, and I quite like tables to remember these kind of things. So essentially there's a number of categories, but there's a number of subcategories, and this way I think you might be able to find remembering it a little bit easier. So you've got A, B, C, and D, and there's B1 and B2, C1 and C2. So the trick is around for B and C. So if you want to remember it as A in particular is the mucosal layer only. D is distance spread. Right? So now here's a trick with B1 and B2. Essentially what you need to remember is the main difference. Well, these two are very similar. And essentially the layer of the bowel wall that they're talking about is called the muscularis propria. Right? And the main difference between these two is in B, there's no nodes. And in C, there are nodes, nodal involvement. And you can imagine like why that's relevant, because as you go down, essentially the mitotic rate and the metastases potential of the cancers increasing. So a table to just go about kind of remembering that. So I like to put the fact that it's 1 and 2 at the top and B and C to the side. Let's split this up like this. So essentially, like I said before, there's no nodes, whereas these have nodes. And then referring to 1 and 2, 1 is always extending into the muscle propria, but not penetrating it, whereas 2 is all about extending and penetrating. So therefore you can kind of break it up as you like. So for instance, C2, it has nodes and it is penetrating, whereas for instance in C1 it has nodes but it's only extending and it's not penetrating. And you can kind of work out the rest. I mean, I'll go through it just for the sake of completeness. In B there's no nodes and it's not penetrating, and here again you have no nodes but it is penetrating. And that's how I remember Duke's classification criteria for colon cancer. Thank you.